Hi, my name is Brandon, and my topic is public transportation. So college students tend to party, drink, all underage, right? I'm sure that's a thing. Not gonna lie. So Lyft and Uber, right? Classic. Order an Uber, you're drunk, get them safe. Lyft and Uber take away from city public transportation, therefore taking away revenue provided to the city. My secondary claim, well, my first one is, Lyft and Uber give detailed pictures and ratings of the driver. So one, you get to know what your driver looks like. You get ratings. You get to ensure that you're going to have a safe ride home. Two, taxi cabs, you can't really do that. You just call taxi, hey. And they take you on a longer route, therefore charging you more money, stealing. And you can't ensure that you're going to get home safe, because taxi cab drivers can be literally anybody. Lyft and Uber do require that you take a driving test to ensure that you are a good driver and that you have a good record, ensuring that obviously they're the best. Buses and train cars are crowded with people and can sometimes lead to robbery and confrontation. One of my sources say that if you're traveling with multiple people over short distances, Lyft line and Uber pool can be quite affordable. It's still not cheap enough, but however, it is hard to imagine a day where larger, higher efficiency vehicles can handle more passengers and fares at a fraction of the total price, and that's from Forbes.com. You can ride with multiple people in one car at one set price, instead of having to pay for individual fare from a taxi cab or a bus or a train. Making group travel a little more affordable by splitting the charge on one ride rather than paying for individual. Uber and Lyft drivers cannot take advantage of you, since once you set in your location, it sticks to that location and it locks in that price. They cannot manipulate it without your consent, or they cannot add on to your fee unless you ask them to, by changing the route or asking them to stop and wait for you, etc. Another reason why college students tend to take more Ubers and Lyfts is they offer discounts. They'll give you 30% for certain rides, or they'll give you group ratings, etc. Another source from CengageBrain.com, cash is not free, I guess. They always give you short change. They always take away. With Uber and Lyft, you just use your card. It takes directly from your account, and you can keep access of records via online. And the modern way of getting around today is via Uber and Lyft. People tend to take Uber and Lyft because they either don't have a car in college, it's too much for a parking pass, they're just too cheap to buy a car, or their parents are like, oh no, you don't get to have a car in college. So the CEO of the APTA president and the CEO, Michael Manupri, together with companies like Lyft and Uber, we are integral to creating a dynamic, multimodal lifestyle. Therefore, in reducing the amount of cars driven around by students, reducing ozone, and therefore making it cheaper for college students to just get around short distances and places that they need to go. And to restate my claim of fact, college students tend to take Uber and Lyft more, therefore taking away revenue from public transportation such as buses, taxis, and trains.
All right, Brandon, I was a little confused by the proposition. I'm still a little bit confused by the proposition because it sounds like you're making an argument that Lyft and Uber are having a harmful effect on public transportation, but then most of your speech explains that Lyft and Uber are superior to these alternative forms of transportation. So why the proposition is phrased that way is not clear to me. It seems to be leading us in the opposite direction. There's not really a preview of what the supporting structure is going to be, and it feels mostly like you're just kind of wandering around explaining why people might take Lyft and Uber. So if we were going to turn this argument into something that's a little bit more structured, I think you could have some pretty simple claims. You could argue that Lyft and Uber are superior resources to other forms of public transportation. Number one, they are more convenient than other forms of public transportation. Number two, they're more cost effective than other forms of public transportation. And number three, they're more reliable than other forms of public transportation. Now let me explain what those arguments are. As it is, I just got a lot of random information about Lyft and Uber and maybe why somebody takes it, or maybe what some of the problems are with public transportation, but I didn't get a lot of source citation on that. And boy, I'm not sure that you've accurately described the taxi business. When you say anybody can drive a taxi, I think you might want to compare the requirements for driving a taxi to requiring the requirements for driving Uber, and I think you'll find that there is a difference. So but I didn't hear any reference material in that. Now you say that the Uber and Lyft drivers have to be tested and they go through a process. Well, that should come right off of their websites and you should be able to cite that. When you say the taxi drivers are not well prepared, I don't know where that comes from, and I don't know why you believe that that's true. It seems counterintuitive to me, since you have to be licensed to do the one thing and you don't have to be licensed to do the other. They're also, because you're working for a company where there are liability issues, your liability issues are going to be substantially different. You make a claim that the public transportation, or at least the public carriers like taxis, are going to rip people off. And that's all asserted. You've got hypothetical examples, and you say that never happens with Uber and Lyft. Well, I suppose if you know the price ahead of time, it's all agreed to, and that's what you're paying is what you're paying. That's perfectly fine. But I don't know that that necessarily means that that's automatically better. I don't know what their rates are in comparison to the others. I'm sure that they're pretty damn good, but you don't give us any examples. You don't give us any statistics on this. You just say that this is true. And having never taken Lyft or Uber, I can't say,
You're missing out.
Oh, I'm sure I am, Except it's not my car. That's what I take, my own damn car. Selfish person that I am, polluting the atmosphere, clogging up the roads. Yeah, plus I get to, fly my flag down the street. All right.